About 2 years ago, I moved from Vietnam to Canada. My POV about Vietnam and the world have changed. In February 2024, I came back to Vietnam for a short trip to visit my family, and here is what I've seen. I noticed that laborers in Vietnam are far more struggling than their counterparts in Canada. Even disabled people still have to make ends meet by themselves with no or minimal support from the government. Or I've seen elders carrying heavy produce on their shoulders and traveling from place to place to earn very little income. Poor and disadvantaged people are still struggling financially. Vietnam is still a paradise for the rich, but not an equal and inclusive place for people from all walks of life. I've also felt amazed when looking back to the Vietnam War. After the war ended about 50 years ago, Vietnamese people put the war behind and started rebuilding their lives. They are resilient and creative. They know they cannot rely on the government anymore, but use their own hands, heads, and hearts. Having a short trip to South Korea, I've also seen the similarity between Vietnam and Korea. Both countries used to be a war-torn country due to different political beliefs. Some Vietnamese people may wish that Vietnam would be like Korea and South Vietnam would be like South Korea. Although South Korea did a very good job to rebuild their country, I've realized that South Koreans are not that happy. They are wrestling with a high suicide rate, probably one of the highest rates in the world. Some people say that Korean culture has a combination of Confucianism and capitalism. In terms of Confucianism, they picked its worst part, which is a culture of saving face, while leaving its best part, which is caring for communities. They also picked the worst part of capitalism, which is materialism, while leaving its best part, which is self-oppression. Life in Korea feels competitive, fearful, and stressful to me. Is that the path that Vietnam should follow? When rebuilding Vietnam, I think Vietnamese people should pick and learn the good and unlearn the bad. We don't need to take sides and say the Western way the best. After living in Canada for more than 2 years, although I've learned so much about this country, I don't think the Western way is perfect. Don't just blindly copy everything from the West.